There are global geopolitics involving China and the Western countries. And Taiwan, although it is quite a small country, I think it's a strategic military importance because of how close it is to China and like how we have troops staged there. I think that a lot of that has actually blown up the importance of Taiwan and like the tensions there rather than I think the inherent tensions between the people who live there and in China, because for it's been like that for a while where they just kind of like coexist in a fashion. I definitely think that being part of like the chess game of global geopolitics has made it a little bit more like stressed.
Taiwan is kind of like the last stopgap between like the free world version, like the democratic societies versus communist China within the Indo-Pacific region is kind of like how they, because every time you read some like official statement from any of the countries, it's like, we want to maintain peace and stability within the Indo-Pacific region. The one
Yeah.
China policy, for anyone, it's like a little bit self-explanatory, but not really, because it is ambiguous AF in terms of like how people adhere to it or don't. So the one China policy, as mainland China, communist China sees it, is that there's literally only one China. So like they don't recognize, Republic of China, aka Taiwan, as like a separate China. There's only one China, the People's Republic of China, and Taiwan is a province of China. So like inherently part of this one China. Technically, all the other nations in the world, really, or the world powers, acknowledge the one China policy.
Yes.
So no one's going to come out and be like, Taiwan is its own independent country, separate from China. Nobody says that, including the US. However, most countries have this like weird dancing around the subject version of acknowledging it, where like most of the world powers do some sort of separate like economic relationship and like unofficial political relationship with Taiwan. They just can't formally call it a country. But like the US, for example, in I think it was 1979, established the Taiwan Relations Act, which like simultaneously says we recognize Taiwan is not its own country, but also we're gonna like do business with Taiwan, and like we can supply military aid to Taiwan, and all these like separate things as if it's a separate country, but like it's not a country, y'all. So it's this like very weird thing. And after Pelosi's visit, which we're going to get into, like all these countries also came out to like say exactly the same like confusing things, where they're like one China policy for show, but also like Taiwan should be
Yeah.
able to like
Yeah.
be left alone, and like let's maintain stability, y'all, status quo.
I feel like sometimes when we look at this fight for countryhood, it seems like a very silly thing because it's just like, is it a country or is it not? But I think that being a country affords its specific standings where not being a country doesn't. For example, Taiwan cannot participate officially in the World Health Organization because China has blocked them. They cannot be part of the UN because China has blocked them. And I think even if you look at like the consulate examples, I don't think you have like the full range of safety services that you would find at a consulate or an embassy. Like if you go to an American embassy anywhere, you're basically safe. Like there are like armed guards there, and you have like the political weight of the US being like, no, 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 like you cannot violate our consulate embassy. But I don't think that same rules apply to whatever consulate embassy backup things that they have for Taiwan. So I think there are like a lot of material differences as a citizen of Taiwan. And a lot of us, I think, don't appreciate that because we all have citizenships in countries that have pretty legitimate standing where you can like go anywhere and feel really safe that you can go to the consulate or embassy if anything happens to you while you're traveling.
Yeah, it is stuck in this kind of like weird place of kind of being a country, but not having the full protections or recognition for sure. And I forget what the like official term is, but there I kept reading in all the articles that I was reading up on that like most countries recognize it as like a stateless, self-governing body or some shit like that. Like the most roundabout way of saying like a country without saying it's country.
The mental gymnastics that people are going through to like make this work. I'm like, come on, please.
Yeah, sirs.